There was a moment when Achilles made a decision that cost him more than victory. Not because he lacked strength, not because he lacked courage, but because he refused to bend. What followed was not immediate loss. It was something worse. Silence, withdrawal, distance, and a chain of consequences that could not be reversed. This is the side of Achilles most stories avoid. Not the warrior who could not be defeated, but the man who could not let go. Achilles was the greatest warrior of the Greek army, unmatched in battle, feared by enemies, essential to victory. But during the Trojan War, his honor was challenged. Agamemnon, the commander of the Greek forces, took something from Achilles that represented status and respect. It was not about the object itself. It was about what it signified. Achilles felt humiliated, and instead of fighting the insult quietly or choosing the larger mission, he withdrew entirely from the war. No speeches, no compromise, no second thoughts. The greatest weapon of the Greeks sat idle. And while Achilles stood still, others paid the price. Friends died. Battles were lost. The war dragged on without him. Achilles did not lose his power. He aimed it inward and burned everything around him. Only later, when the cost became unbearable, did he return. But by then, something irreplaceable was already gone. Achilles believed his pride protected his honor. In reality, it isolated him. This is where the lesson lives, not in rage, but in refusal. Refusal to adapt. Refusal to absorb insult. Refusal to choose long-term victory over short-term ego. Achilles was not wrong to feel disrespected. He was wrong to let that feeling dictate his strategy. There are 3 lessons we can learn from Achilles. First, pride narrows your field of vision. When ego is wounded, perspective collapses. You stop seeing outcomes. You stop seeing people. You only see the insult. Achilles focused on being wronged, not on what would follow. Second, withholding strength is still a form of destruction. Achilles didn't lash out immediately. He withdrew. But silence can damage as much as violence. Absence can punish more than confrontation. His refusal to act became its own weapon. Third, some cost cannot be paid back later. Achilles returned to the fight eventually, but timing mattered. Not every mistake can be corrected once emotion cools. Some losses happen while you're proven a point. Today, pride rarely looks like battlefield rage. It looks like distance, unsent messages, cold withdrawal, refusing to engage until the other side admits fault. Relationships fracture not from shouting, but from stubborn silence. Conflicts linger because no one wants to be the first to soften. Like Achilles, many mistake rigidity for strength. But true strength is not the refusal to bend. It is the ability to bend without breaking yourself or others. Ask this before you withdraw. Is this about principle or about pride? Will standing firm protect what matters or cost it? Achilles reminds us that being powerful does not make you immune to self-sabotage. Uncontrolled pride does not preserve greatness. It dismantles it quietly, piece by piece. The strongest men are not those who never feel insulted, but those who refuse to let insult decide the future. That is the discipline Achilles learned too late.